excited to be able to sing with you guys today.
Today, we're going to sing about a sea, but it's no ordinary sea. It's the Sea of Galilee. So we're going to need a lot of hand motions. We're going to need your boats. We're going to need many, many fish. And what we're going to do is do that all together. So we're going to sing Sea of Galilee.
There's a sea, there's a sea, there's a sea of Galilee. There's a sea, there's a sea, there's a sea of Galilee. There's a sea, there's a sea, there's a sea of Galilee. There's a boat on the Sea of Galilee. There's a boat on the Sea of Galilee. There's a boat, there's a boat, there's a boat on the Sea of Galilee. There's a man on the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There's a man on the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There's a man, there's a man, there's a man on the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are hands on the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are hands on the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are hands, there are hands, there are hands on the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are nets, there are nets, there are nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There's a fish in the nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There's a fish in the nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There's a fish, there's a fish, there's a fish in the nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are many, many fish in the nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are many, many fish in the nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. There are many, many fish, there are many, many fish, there are many, many fish in the nets in the hands of the man in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. Woo! Good job, you guys.
Good job, everybody.
Hi, good morning. How are you today? I hope you're doing well today because we're going to get to follow Jesus today with a huge crowd that's also following him. You know, when he sees them and he sees their pain and their hurts and their heartaches, he takes care of them in so many ways. Of course, so many people are following him. He's going to lead them up to a mountain. Hey, let's climb a mountain. We made it to the top of this beautiful mountain. It was on this mountain that Jesus told them about different blessings. In Matthew 5:7, Jesus says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy." Can you think of a time when maybe you've done something, you've made a mistake, and somebody treated you with kindness? Or you know you did something wrong and you were so scared that you were gonna get in trouble and you were gonna get yelled at. But instead someone said, "I understand that you made a mistake and I just want you to know that I love you." That is so beautiful when we receive mercy. And it's really hard when somebody actually treats us harshly. And harsh means to do something really aggressive or mean or rah. That's what I think of when I think of harsh. Rah. Ah. That doesn't feel good, does it? You know, Jesus is very merciful. Let me tell you a story about two kids. They were really good friends. They would go to each other's houses several times a week. One day, one of the boys was leaving his friend's house. Let's call him Bobby. Bobby was leaving, let's call the other boy Larry. Bobby was leaving Larry's house. And Larry noticed that one of his favorite action figures was gone, and it was sticking out of Bobby's backpack. And Larry said, "Hey, Bobby, that's my toy in your backpack." And Bobby looked scared. Like, oh no, I've been caught. And Larry had to think hard about what he was going to do. Do I show him mercy? Or do I go and tell my parents and tell his parents and make him get in trouble? What do you think he should have done? What would you have done? What would you want to happen if you were Bobby? Larry did something I thought was pretty amazing. He said, "Hey Bobby, look, that's one of my favorite toys and I would really like it back. I hope that you give it back. I'm not mad at you. It's my favorite toy and I would like to keep it. I would still like to play with you. I would still like to be your friend. But I'd be very grateful if you gave me my toy back." And Bobby, although he was embarrassed, he gave him the toy back and said, "You would still play with me?" And Larry said, "Of course. You're so much fun to be around. And thank you so much for giving me my toy back." Wow. Larry showed a lot of mercy. He could have done so many things. He could have went, "Rah!" But he didn't. He showed him mercy. What does it feel like when someone shows you mercy? What does it feel like to show somebody else mercy? Have you ever shown anybody mercy? Did you know that showing acts of mercy is like showing people a reminder of who God is? Because He's merciful. Now, showing mercy doesn't mean that we let people treat us poorly or let them overstep our boundaries. But it's more about understanding perhaps where someone else is coming from and having a response that is caring and merciful the way God is. It doesn't mean accepting mean behavior, telling someone to stop, or "May I please have that back?" Or "Hey, that's a boundary that you just crossed." Those are ways of communicating who you are and doing so with love. Did you know that we could show mercy for ourselves when we make safe choices? And getting help when we need to get help also. I have a challenge for you this week. Try to look for opportunities where you could be merciful. Where can I be merciful? I found it. Try to do that this week and let me know how it goes. Bye.